You need to have full 100% confidence in yourself, because if you don't, you can't expect someone else to believe in you. And it can come off with some people, obviously, like they do it the wrong way, it looks too arrogant or whatever.
Yeah.
But just having that confidence in yourself to, like, you know, like, nothing's more different than, like, anyone that you look up to. You're probably way more skilled, way more this and that. You just have to believe it and just execute.
Welcome back to the podcast. I started this podcast as a way to help Black men in all aspects of our lives. Studies show on average we lose 2.8 years of our life when we're under heavy stress. And I think we can gain those 2.8 years back if we express ourselves healthily. Stick with me as I interview therapists, doctors, advocates, activists, and friends about how we can be better as Black men and as a Black community. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube and following us on Instagram and TikTok, you'll definitely want to do that. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
All right, solid. Listen, we're here with another episode. We're here with Van Dennis. Van, you do a lot of dope stuff in the advertising space. Can you please explain what it is that you do for the audience?
Yeah, man. Been doing this for about 8 years now. So I have a partnered agency called Instant Boost Media, also another one called Underrated Media, and then my personal brand, Van Dennis LLC. Whole thing that we focus on is like digital advertising, content marketing. So like when you guys, you know, content creating, you know, podcasts are big, so a lot of people are blowing up with that. And also just like personal branding and business content. Like every business now needs it. I remember 8 years ago, you still had to like really like kind of like drag someone to like want to do content for their business or that. Now like people know they have to.
You're right,
so
right.
I've seen a lot change in the last 8 years. So it's a good space to be in, because it's always going to be here forever type thing. It's not going to go anywhere, but that's what I do, man, day in and day out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I like to tell people that do a lot of business, because we normally have like a lot of like psychologists, therapists, doctors that come on the platform, and that we've recently, since we've been in Atlanta, we've had a lot more, you know, businessmen, businesswomen, entrepreneurs. When I get you guys in the room, I like to let you guys know that this is not about business. You guys always are talking about business, right? This is not going to be about business. I just want to introduce you so the audience knows what you do. So you do a lot of dope stuff. One of the things that we talked about before we even got into the episode was that you had a challenging upbringing to get to this point. Can you explain what that was like for you and how you were shaped by that?
Yeah, man. You guys grew up in New York, so you guys probably used to see a lot of Jamaicans, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Kind of where you're at. So I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
I was born in Miami, and you know, some family stuff happened. A lot of chaos was going on in like the late 90s in Miami, especially like with my family, that, you know, the Shotas type people, you know? So my mom divorced, like my dad left him, drove all the way to California. It's a place called Riverside, California.
Okay.
Most random place to end up right there. I think we were supposed to end up in LA, but we ended up like an hour out of LA, and was raised by a single mom. She was a hardworking, you know, they say Jamaicans have 6 jobs. I got that from my mom. Like, it's a real thing. Like, I feel like I'm working all the damn time. It's like, I love it, but it's like I saw my mom climb the ladder. So like in the projects, being like out of the projects is like the regular hood type area, and California is different. It's a very different dynamic. Like, you know, New York hoods are different. I know how New York is a little bit, like go there quite a bit to like see it. It's a little different. Gang culture is like completely different, and that's where I grew up. Like, so imagine being from Miami. You're like 7, 8 years old. You get thrown into blood and this, crip that, and like I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, I don't know what this, you know, like. So I was a whole different person as a kid too. Like I was a bad little rude boy type. Like
I see.
I was bad, bro. Like my mom used to threaten to send me to Jamaica and like be with uncles, and I was so bad. I'll get my ass beat. You know, like, you know, immigrant parents beat kids differently. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different type of beating.
Right.
I'm like having my hands tied behind poles and getting whooped like I'm in like BC Christ times, like getting, you know, whooped. Still crying my ass off, and then still go do some bad shit again after that type thing. But thank God I changed. It didn't really change because of like when I started playing sports. So my mom put me in football, and like she kept hearing like this will help with aggression and this and that, and it completely changed me. Like completely like took a whole another course.
Yeah. So you're saying you mentioned aggression. So you had problems with like anger growing up?
Yeah, I had and I think it was just because I just didn't know what the hell was. Like, I don't know how to even explain it really. I just feel like I feel like it came from like me just not having direction, like kind of mad at like what my parents were doing, like not understand like why is my dad like not here. I'm a dope kid, and I was always like good at sports and stuff, and I didn't understand like you have a dope son, like wouldn't you want to be there? Because I see my other friends and their dads would be like there. Some kids sucked and their dad was there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was their dad, would have gone to this game, you know what I'm saying? But I would see that and be like, damn, like this guy's dad's like supportive as hell, like he has everything, gloves, stuff like that, and I'm over here like really good, and my mom did what she can. Like there's like I always show people sometimes like there's pictures of my mom. She was always in her nursing outfit. Like she'd be at my games, nurse, because she worked that much because she had to support. You know, California's expensive.
Right.
Even for making money, it's expensive.
Right.
And so imagine having kids on top of that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she was like always. I swear to God, she slept in her uniform and just stayed in that shit all day.
Yeah.
But I was blessed to have her as a mother because she kind of like raised me to have these different morals and work ethic and stuff like that. Like she made sure I spoke proper because like I would be speaking completely different if it wasn't for her. Like she would pop me in the mouth if I came back from like outside and I used to try to say some shit and then she would real quick like let me not say that again. It was like that. But yeah, I think that's what definitely changed my whole like perspective of life, and she just raised me like. Then she tried to raise me to be like the man that she wanted, type thing, you know. That's what I feel like, you know.
Yeah, I would say you're obviously very successful now, right?
I'm getting there. It all depends what people think is success.
Right?
You know?
It depends on what your definition.
I definitely feel blessed. I'm definitely like I feel like I have a soft life compared to how I grew up. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
solid.
Like I feel like living in America is a soft life in general because I just know what it's like overseas. So. That's why I always say that. So if it's like blessed, it's like way better. We're able to do stuff like this. Like people can't do stuff like this.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, not everyone can do that.
Absolutely. So what do you feel like some of the biggest challenges you've had getting to this point?
I'll say one of the big challenges I feel like people don't like to talk about is like just being a black man in business and not going after your own black culture. I go after like every type. I always do tell people like people don't know how hard it is actually being like a black man in the business professional world, and like your client base might be white, Asian, European, etc., which is like a lot of my client base is that. You get judged a lot more for like every little thing, and people never talk about that. Like I have friends that are like in the same niche as me, and I'm way better than them, way better back end systems, all this stuff, and like they'll get way more clients just because people like trust them. They feel like less like intimidated by them, stuff like that. That was like something I always feel like I deal with, even till this day. Even with the credibility that I have, like I still deal with that. Really?
So how do you navigate that?
I just try to outperform, just to do my thing. But it's something that always people will never like want to admit it, but it's a thing that really happens. Like, like just think about a good example would be like think about the cameramen that are like the white camera guys. I don't want to call this one dude because I'm like a big fan of him, but maybe I will. But it's like, you think if Lyrical Lemonade was black, you think it'll be like Lyrical Lemonade? Do you think it'll be that big? I'm a big fan of him, so I hope you never take. I'm a huge fan of this guy, but I'm just being honest.
No,
like,
I see what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I don't know any real. I don't really know like a lot of black. Maybe I'm just not.
I know some, but they're not that big. They're big. They'll still get gigs. They'll still do the baby shot. They'll do a money back shot here and there, so that. But it ain't at the tier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're not like a brand name.
You have to grind so much more, and there's just a lot of stuff, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get out of while being me. Because I hate wearing suits. Like I told myself when I jumped fully into entrepreneurship, I was like, I'm not getting a suit anymore. No, of course I could put on a suit and I'll put it on type thing. But I just was like, it was a mindset shift for me that I wanted to get out of. I was like, I was only getting suits because I was for job interviews. Like, I don't want to get no more job interviews. I want to create my own jobs. Right. But with that, not having that suit look type thing kind of made someone I dress very like Yeezy style. Like I wear sweats and I'm in the office. If I'm using the WeWork, whatever, my personal office with my partners in California, like I'm pulling up in like Yeezy slides and a hoodie, very skater, Cali boy type football player vibe. And I think that something that makes people think probably, hey, he's probably not really like that smart or that into it or that, collective in his niche, but I'm like totally all geeked out, nerd out in it. But cause I come off different. I'm tatted, I'm kind of buff, it's not what you expect. And so I kind of deal with a lot of that. Yeah. And I know it cause even if like my girl would see it, like other people will see it, like I get, it's a lot, and it's something I have to deal with, and I'm like, I'm just have to be me. I can't fake the other stuff. I can't. Like, I have to.
Yeah, no, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's important for you to show up as yourself. That's one of the things that I'm heavy on too. I don't want to show up in a suit and have to look all like, for lack of better words, professional, right? Because that's what we think about it as. I don't want to have to show up like that. I know there's certain settings where that's probably like the dress code where you have to wear that, but for the most part, I don't want to have to change who I am, change the way I dress, just to appease people. Right, I'd rather be myself, and those that are attracted to me will be attracted to me. So I wholeheartedly believe that God will align you with the right folks regardless.
Yep.
You feel me? So the way I think about it is I'm going to show up as myself, and the people that accept me as me are the ones that are for me, and everybody else that doesn't is just not meant to be. And so I find peace in that. One of the things that I want to ask you too is that you're in a very interesting space, like the advertising space. You obviously work with a lot of different clients. Was there ever a moment where you had like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do this, or maybe not right now where you are, but like as you were developing and getting to this point, have you ever had a point in your entrepreneurial journey or your business journey where you're like, man, I really want to give up?
I never really ever wanted to give up. I've always been like all about it. Even like when there's tough times, I'm like, to me, I'm crazy. So I probably think like when I think when a tough time comes, I'm like, oh, that means that God has something crazy good coming for me.
Oh, okay, you're like that. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I can't even like. Of course, I get tough times. Like,
right.
Like I could even like there could be a time right now. Like I've invested all my money. I'm launching a new offer. All my money's put into that. I got robbed like just a week ago, just accidentally. Like not robbed like gunpoint or nothing. Like. My bag was in the car with my laptop and everything, and I got robbed. They broke into it. Some Miami stuff. You probably heard about that happens in Miami.
Yeah.
Where don't park your car.
Yeah.
And leave stuff in the car.
Was it in like the back seat or something?
It was like in a tinted window car, black bag. I'm like, how they even like, you know what I'm saying? It was just so random.
Yeah, I always put it in the trunk just because I'm from New York.
And I feel like maybe this is this God just like having little few things. Because every time something like this happens, a big blessing comes. I'm just like waiting, like, all right, like. Been here, seen this before, God. Like, what's going on? What's about to happen? So I kind of just laughed about it, type thing. Like,
really?
It's like, yeah, because I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
yeah, you can't control it.
Yeah,
you
gone,
can't control it. It's gone.
And it's just material things. I'm like, it's like I'm not big on material things like that. And I was like, I hope hope God bless them with that. And I already know that big bags coming after that type thing.
So. That's a fact, man.
But yeah, I don't even look at. My life was very hard. My mom passed away when I was a senior in high school, like Christmas morning, in my arms. Like, imagine waking up Christmas morning at 17 years old. You're worried about college football scholarships right now and girls and all this other shit, and that happened. So, like, I already had, like, the tough, bullshit happen where, like...
So you've already gone through, like, one of the most significant, like...
I don't know how you guys close with your mom is, but my mom is, like,
yeah,
she's God. There's God, and then there's my mom. It's kind of like it's almost like that. Like I'm a heavy Christian. I was brought up Christian. I'm big. Like I'm going to church tomorrow.
Right.
I invite the homies type thing.
Right.
But like my mom was like
up there for you.
That was like everything, So like that was like I was like every time I do come into like a difficult situation, I'm like nah. Like the worst shit really happened to me already.
Right.
And
so
I was
you
17
had that,
and I had to take it. You know what I'm saying?
You have that perspective. How did you navigate that?
I just kept going. That's like, because like I really thought about it. I remember we were in the hospital. I seen my little brother, and it hurt me even more because like my little brother and sister, and I have an older sister, but I'm like the oldest, so I'm like the male, and that's how my mom kind of raised me. And I'm just like, damn, like I'm like, how are they gonna deal with it? So I'm like, I'm not okay, and like, but I have like, I already kind of have like a lot of passion. Like I thought I was gonna be a football player. That's why that was like my gameplay was like football, go into business, like get business deals and network. So I was like, after that I got taken because I got injured. I was like, I still did that obviously, but I was like, I already kind of knew what I was gonna do, and I was stuck on that. For my siblings, I'm like, damn, like how are they gonna figure? I'm like, damn, what are they gonna do? Like I have to make it. I have to like be the one to like keep going and kind of motivate everyone else. So it's like if I see me keep going and doing stuff, like I was gonna help, and it did, but. I just really couldn't like. Of course, I cried about it, but I couldn't like stop. Like I was like, I kind of told myself, and I knew it was like, I had it as my screensaver for the longest time, but it's like nobody cares. Work harder.
Really?
Was like kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Because no one really does care. Like the world kept going. Like college coaches were either gonna still want you or not want you. Doesn't matter. Like, oh, my mom died. Can you give me an opportunity?
Right.
Nothing else. Like So I kind of knew that was the world, and I was like, all right, no one cares. Just keep going. Type thing. So.
There's this theme around like entrepreneurs and business owners, businessmen, businesswomen that I'm seeing. I've had a conversation with a few of you guys, and you guys are very successful, but there's also a lot of like trauma that I feel like has not been like addressed or even like really looked into, and it's allowed you, it's pushed you to this point to be able to get to where you are. But I'm always worried like. when are you guys go? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I was telling David the other day that
I heard someone say that too.
yeah, I was telling David the other day because we had somebody come in here, and we did an interview, and then after the interview, they were back to making money. Like as soon as the interview ended, like I just closed this thing, we just made $30K, and I was just like, man, that sounds great. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, when are you guys not worried about making money? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just like getting pushed, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not saying this is you or all you, right? I'm just thinking of the culmination of conversations that I've had, and just there's this theme of we have to work, we have to keep going. I'm going to keep working regardless of what happens.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know it's not the best, like, and I feel like you have to try to deal with it. Like I feel like, and it also does bring up other like issues. Like I probably have like a lot of issues because a lot of people don't even know like all the stuff I've been through. Like I come off and everyone right away thinks like he speaks like a white boy, he's too proper. He probably grew up spoon fed, this and that. Never lived in the hood, stuff like that. I come off like that, so people like never, they're like thrown off. And I don't tell my story much either on social media. So like people never really know, like no one really knows me.
Nobody would know that.
Nobody, like no one really knows, and like they still can't believe. Only people that are from where I'm from, then like you know, like I get DMs from them all the time. Like, so glad you're like this, because I was definitely told. Now you know everyone says like, oh, my teacher said I was gonna go to jail. No, like I was really like just imagine if that little Jamaican kid like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know a few.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like that was me, and people can't believe it. Like that was like you know, and they all know if their parents would try to, I'm gonna send you to Jamaica if you don't. You know, I was one of those like. I'll be like, fuck, no, I don't want to go to Jamaica. Like, cause I mean, like, cause I'm going to like the bad side, you know, too. I ain't going to like the vacation side. I already knew I was gonna go like countryside with my family. I'm like, nah, hell no. Like, but like that was a threat to me. I heard that. That was when I was like, okay.
Dude, let me say.
I'm gonna like, all right, but like, my mom might be serious this time. If like, if I don't like, you know.
Yeah, my dad's from Ghana. My brother is the one that was, for lack of better words, the problematic child, right?
Older or younger?
Younger, right? And so my dad would always, growing up, he would always tell my brother, we're going to send you to Ghana. We're going to send you to Ghana. We're going to send you to Ghana. So, and I used to be terrified because I'm like, damn, I'm about to lose my brother. Damn. You know what I'm saying? And my brother was also terrified because he's like, damn, I'm about to go to just like you. Like, yeah, I'm about to.
Kind of help them, like...
It didn't work because it's like they weren't able to actually do it, right? And so what I've learned with children is that you can't threaten them with something and continue to threaten them with that thing. It has to be something that you're willing to go through with, right? And so if you continuously say, I'm going to send you to this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and you just don't do it, at some point in time, it loses its merit.
So I think I believe my mom because she took us to Jamaica. We went like 3 or 4 times with her.
That's the difference,
Like, so I'm like, oh, if she wanted to, she
could just drop you off here.
I traveled with her there 3 times. So like,
yeah. That's the difference.
So that had me kind of like, it might be real.
Yeah, we just never went to Ghana.
I mean, think like, you love me too. She ain't trying to like, I'm your favorite kid, low key. Like, you know what? I used to think that, but I was like, nah, she might be.
So let me ask you a question. Would you ever, or have you ever tried therapy?
I have not tried therapy. Besides, my therapy to me is like God. So like, I do that. So I can't say I'm not doing. I'm doing therapy, but it's in a different way. Like I more so put my therapy with God. You know, praying with people at the church, getting prayers, asking people to pray for me. That kind of does help me more than like. I'm not too big on the therapy thing because like, you know, Dan, it said, and mind you, if any clients see this that I run ads for therapy. That doesn't mean I can't do a good job for you. I just have my own ways of dealing with stuff with you through God. Because like people would take it like, well, you don't even believe in therapy. It's like I do, but not for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I've been to. Like, I would have to have someone like that's been through what I've been through and overcame, and then has God in their life and that structure for me to kind of like even listen to them. But I do think it's good to talk, and I do talk about things to people too. I don't just hold everything in, but I just don't do it publicly. You know?
Right. I get what you're saying.
But therapy is amazing in the sense, but my therapy is like through faith and God and stuff like that. I feel like that's what heals me and like helps me like actually
help you to keep going. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying for sure. The reason why I asked about therapy is because every time I ask that question, there's always an interesting answer. For people that haven't done it, it's always, I don't go to therapy, but this is my therapy. And I'm like, well, if you've never been to therapy, how do you know that that's therapy? right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying that, and I'm not to say that you're wrong, or what you're doing is wrong, or anything like that. I'm just trying to add context and perspective. I think there's a difference between praying, meditation, if we're going to talk about work, because some people say work is their therapy. Some people say talking to my wife is my therapy, all that kind of stuff.
The gym and that type of stuff.
Yeah, the gym is my therapy, all that kind of stuff. Those things are therapeutic. And what that means is that it gives you a sense of relief. It can help you, right? So it has those therapeutic properties, but therapy is its own thing. It's like a whole different process, right? So when I sit down with my therapist, not only is it therapeutic, but I'm getting things out of it that I wouldn't get necessarily from praying to God, that I wouldn't get necessarily from meditating, that I wouldn't get necessarily from talking to my girl, right? My therapist is helping me to unpack things while also helping me to figure out solutions to some of the things that I'm going through, right? And you can sometimes get that from having a conversation with God. You can sometimes get that from meditating. You can sometimes get that from talking to other people. But your therapist is there to give you a dedicated time and space to really deal with a lot of the things that you go through. And I feel like, especially for businessmen, businesswomen, a lot of times the priority becomes, how can I become better financially? Or how can I become better, or how can I become more successful? And then the things that you guys end up dealing with, you guys just kind of like shove that to the side because it's like, this is not a priority of mine, right?
Yeah.
And I understand.
That definitely does happen.
I understand wholeheartedly, because I have my moments. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm always like I'm ready to deal with stuff, and I'm always wanting to deal with stuff.
I'm the worst with that.
No,
I'm like the worst with like I don't. It's like, do I deal with this or like I focus on the? I'm always like, you know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I have my moments where I'm like, man, fuck these issues. I gotta get to this bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I have my moments where I'm like, yo, this bag is more important than that shit that I'm dealing with right now, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, I know what that does to me, right? So I can understand like the long-term effects of that, right? Like, and I understand like trying to do what you need to do and making sure that you kind of push through. But I also feel like it's important, just like you take care of your body, just like you take care of your spiritual health, your financial health, that mental and emotional component is definitely necessary as well. So yeah, just wanted to add that we do anytime we talk about therapy, I always want to let people know that are listening, we do a free webinar where we take folks through how to find a therapist, right? So we have a lot of Black men that come in that don't even know, like, what do I need in a therapist, right? So you just actually name some of the things that you need. I don't even know if you recognized it, but you named some of the things earlier. You like, I need someone that's been through the things that I've been through. I need someone that I can relate to. I need someone, essentially you said you need someone Black and that's been through your experiences. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the webinar that we teach is how to find a dope Black therapist, right?
Oh, fine,
so we go through each of the steps that you need to take, how to identify what you need to work on, how to identify what you need in a therapist, where to look for therapists, all that kind of stuff. And we take members, through that. And so that's a free webinar. It's linked in our bio if you guys are interested. It'll also be linked in the podcast description. And that's on Instagram if you want to go to our bio. And if you aren't on Instagram or any social media, you can go to expressyourselfblackman.com/links. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, do you deal with stress, like high stress, high anxiety? Do you feel like you deal with anxiety at all? Because that's another thing that I see sometimes with business owners.
I feel like I deal with it pretty well. I'm like used to being high stress, and I think sports probably helped out a lot too, because there's like high stress situations that you're in, and I kind of I think part of me likes it, part of me doesn't. It's weird. It's kind of like a hate-love thing. I like that sense of urgency, and I think I love that. I think also that could be my escape.
I see.
Too,
okay.
And I'm very aware of that. Like that, it seems like it's like also like my escape to be like super productive. I feel bad if I'm like being lazy and if I'm ever like just, I feel like I have to always be doing something. And but I do feel like I feel like I play handle it pretty well. Okay. But obviously, I feel like I don't think it's the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me ask you this question: do you prioritize your rest? Do you think it's important to rest?
Oh yeah, I do love to rest. I do try to get my sleep. Okay. Like one reason why I don't drink, I don't like partying, stuff like that. 'Cause I like to get my rest. If so, I'm either resting or I'm on go. It's like I'm like kind of one of the two. Okay. Besides, right now it's like college football season, and football season. So I do open up some free time to like watch football games. That's literally what I'm about to do after this. Okay. I'm gonna probably
college football.
Catch all the highlights. I go on YouTube, and if I miss the game, I'm watching the highlights right away.
Okay.
But I do prioritize like chill and rest, because like for me, like if I'm not being productive, I'm like not really interested into doing a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm kind of boring, but not really. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I come off kind of boring, so I'm like, I don't really care. Like I don't like vacations, stuff like that. Like, people are trying to do. I'm like, I'm not doing vacation till I hit like real like monumental things to goals, and also I can spend the vacation how I really want to spend the vacation. Like,
Let
you
me,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you wholeheartedly. Let me ask you this question too, because I saw earlier in the year you had made a post talking about learning a lot. You live in Miami, right? What have you learned since? I don't know if you moved to Miami or just like living in Miami in general and like your journey. What are some of the lessons, like some of the biggest lessons that you've learned?
Oh man, I would definitely say just living there. I used to live I was living in LA. Like obviously, like when I got a little bit more successful, because like successful is a word gets thrown around. I'm not even where I want to be, but I feel successful because I'm being productive of what I need to do to get to where I want to be. So I'm like that makes me feel successful. But I was in LA at the times where LA was like popping, like the last dying years of LA before the pandemic. All the influencers there, like stuff like this, would have been so easier for you at that time because everyone was collabing. You didn't have to even like sweat. So I'm used to that.
Right.
Like it was like that's where a lot of people got connected, made great relationships. Entrepreneurs, influencers. Miami kind of Miami became like that new place kind of for that, but it's still not the same. But it's still really, really good. But I just learned a lot. It's like if you can be focused with all these distractions, which are like obviously like you have all this stuff going on, like it's Miami. If you could be focused there, then let me know you could be focused anywhere, type thing. And it's also it's a great, diverse, place where there's a bunch of people you can connect with. A lot of people are trying to grow and they're open to grow and they're open to partner up. So I do like that aspect. Atlanta has that too, a little bit. But I like the diversity that it has in Miami, and it also is close where you come back and forth and because I'm big on like collabing and partnering because that's like I come from nothing where I knew I needed to make really good relationships and I see the people that really do that and then where they're at. Like like they're the ones that have like the longevity careers. Like don't burn bridges, don't fuck people over. Like build relationships, add value. I'm always helping up all other people, like connecting them with something else, even if I'm not getting anything out of it, because I know that it's something good. Like that person remember something good that I did to them to help them with their baby. Like their passion, and people remember that.
All right, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to let you guys know to leave a review on the podcast. Please, 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 if you are listening to this episode and you're finding value in this episode, you're enjoying the conversation, or you've enjoyed a previous episode or conversation, and it's safe to operate your phone right now, please leave us a review. Your review is a free and easy way to support us, and it helps us reach more people like you. We're on a mission to build a stronger, more connected Black community, starting with Black men. And you can help us on that mission by taking a minute out of your day to leave a review. Your review helps us generate more listeners, which in turn generates more revenue, allowing us to expand the platform even further. So please take a few seconds out of your day. I know you're busy. I understand. I know you're doing a lot, but it will help us greatly if you would just take a few seconds out of your day to leave a review right now. Did you leave a review yet? All right, let's get back to the episode.
You also made a post like last year. You were talking about your principles. And I think one of the principles you said is your future will look like the decisions you make today. Can you explain that?
Yeah, man. I feel like it's like all the decisions you do, like kind of compound effect, Some could be bad and some could be good. You want to have more goods than bad, And so I'm big on like planting seeds with people. I want to make sure like I could plant as much seeds in people because like right now, like I have a whole new like team that I got that were all just were like fans of me, really. They just like admired me. They were other entrepreneurs. They're like, hey, I want to work with you. I want to handle this operation. I want to handle sales. I want to handle the editing. I want to do this. Like that all came from just like me building like a very authentic personal brand, And I'm like, damn, like this is what you want. Like I don't like now. Like I really posted today. I was like, I need a few sales guys. I posted on my IG, and then boom, get like a bunch of people DM me like, I'll close for you. I live here. I live in UK. I live in Dubai. I live over here in like Minnesota. Like, and so I think just being authentic is like a really big thing, and that the authentic plants seed into people. Because I don't know if you know, it's being out here in Atlanta, you've probably seen the authentic ones, entrepreneurs, and you see like the You know, you can tell the ones that are like, they just finally made it type thing, or they're
Yeah.
finally cool. They never were cool before. And I kind of like joke about it because like it's funny to me, but I do keep it. I'm like, I was like, I had that nice little high school football player life, you know, where you're kind of a celebrity, you know, and then like, so you kind of like already know what it's kind of like. You're like an influencer in your town, and that's like before it was like a thing.
Yeah.
And I seen people like kind of gets to their head, and then you can see like that's a whole psychology twist. You can tell how they are, like they start flexing. They have to like flex things instead of them because it's like, you know. So I right away see that. Like I'm not a big jewelry guy. I'm not a big like materialistic guy. Like all money goes back to the business, and I'm to my team, my partners. So that way, like, you know, you have to keep people happy type thing.
Right.
And I know it's not about me. Like what I want to do is like it's gonna take an army. I'm not gonna be able to do it by myself. So I know that type thing.
One thing I definitely see being in Atlanta for a week now is there's a lot of flexing.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, not that I have that type of money, but I know when I do, I'm just
Don't even waste your time.
I'm not because I don't really see the point in it. And then also the IRS is always watching, man. Like that, I'm telling you, man, the government is always watching, and they always want their piece, man.
It wows me sometimes. Like I do see people like spend stuff just, and it's really like because I was there before I did that, like for like a little, not nothing too crazy, but you know, like I remember like buying something and really not for me, and I'm not even that type of person, so I can only imagine like other people are really doing it for like you know. And so like that the fact that I was moved a little bit was like, oh yeah, like you know, you could, because I'm like really frugal. I'm like, you know, Jamaican frugal. I'm like, but everybody hates Chris' dad. I'm like that. Like that's how much. Oh, it's like I'm looking at everything. Like,
Jamaican frugal is a whole different type of frugal.
I'm like super frugal. Like I've dating, like I make sure my girl knows, like, yo, like I know you see that I got it, but don't mean that I got it. You know,
right.
like I'm like very like
no,
this is going there and like this is going there. Like we don't need to spend that. I don't care about those bags and that clothes and this and that. I'll design it myself. I know I could source it. Like you know, like but like in Miami it's like that too, but it's like it's not as it doesn't look as bad. But it depends on where you're at. It's like depending on like what demographic of the area you're at, but I kind of respect it in Miami a little bit more because like Miami is way more expensive too. So when people are really like going all out at the club, I'm like, damn, they're tripping to me for one. I'm like, you're tripping like on alcohol that doesn't even cost that much and it's probably fake, you know, like But just for like the look and all that, which is always interesting. It's always interesting. I always like peep that, and I also tell people too, like being a black man in my space, like I always like try to like let people know. I'll tell my girls like my competition. They don't got to worry about what I got to worry about. They don't, and like most of them.
Explain that.
And I'm gonna go in depth with this. They don't have to worry about looking good, what they're wearing. Like these are like more of like the nerdier tech side person that's like not, you know, not intimidating. Like, like, you know, like it's like a nerdy type geek person that people are thinking of that's like handling the marketing department.
Right.
And so like, my competition doesn't worry about stuff that I have to worry about. Like being like a black man that's like a decent look, you know, like it's like so much more things that I have to like worry about. People care about what I'm wearing. Like other, like the guys that I know that are crushing could wear the same clothes every day. No one's ever gonna question or ask them, you know, like double take. Let me do that. It's like hold on, like, you know, like it's like catch question. And that's just kind of part of our culture too, and I get that, but I'm like, it does suck because some of our culture stuff does hold us back so much. Like think about this, like imagine like you were a rapper and you're a big rapper and you're coming to like LA and then someone's like, oh, you gotta check in. You think like a white dude that's going out there for a business meeting that he's gonna close like 8-9 figures has to check in with somebody? Have to worry about the stress of checking in with somebody? Nah. You know? Yeah. And so that's one of the ways I had to make sure I, you know, carry myself. So we're gonna have to be careful because I'm like, you also get eyeballs on you and people start looking at you and stuff like that. But I was like, I don't want to, like, why do we have to worry about checking in? Like I go to Cali a lot because obviously like, my main office is there, family, loved ones, all that stuff's there. So I'm like, I'm so thankful I kind of went into my field and like my way, and I could like publicly know like I'm not with this like gang life and all that. I want to travel anywhere I want without. But then again, I do dress a certain type of way, and so then I'm like, okay, if someone doesn't know, and I don't open my mouth, they're gonna be like, he might be gonna have tattoos and stuff too. And I like tattoos, so I'm like, god damn it, like this is like
put yourself right in the category.
It's a lot you have to think about that. Other people like, I always kind of like rant. I'm like, damn, my competition doesn't have to worry about that. Like, it's a white guy, just clean cut, just cause walk up anywhere, just doesn't have to worry about the things I have to worry about.
Yeah, that's the stress of being a black man. They kind of call that the black tax.
Yeah. Which I'm like, I need to start taxing people. that's what I was like. I need to start ending on my black tax.
You do.
You know?
You do. You should.
Like, I have like business partners, like, and I'm not, you know, everyone knows I'm not racist for that, but it's like, that's why sometimes I have to have like an Asian partner that help with sales. I have like a European guy that helps with sales. Sometimes I've known that I've lost some client deals just from like, they see my face pop up on Zoom and they're like, oh no, like,
wow.
rough the rip, you know? Like and people try to act like that's not a thing. And that frustrates me. I'm like, if I was any other, like, I'm not using it as an excuse because, like, you know, someone's like, oh, you're using it as an excuse. And I don't believe in, like, certain excuses like that. But let's just be realistic. Like,
you do face that.
Yeah, I face that. And I'm pretty sure some other people face that. And I know that other people have to be coaching in my coaching program. I'm going to have to, like, in my coaching program, I'm putting in where we help people close the sales too. Right. Because I kind of know that it's difficult for your first time. You might be kind of nervous trying to close a deal. You don't know what ways you can really help solve solutions for certain businesses or content, whatever. But it's a thing because I've dealt with that. Like, I've dealt with that. Many times, I get on the call and like everything this person needs, like we literally could do it at the best. Why didn't they not go with this? It's not the price. It's not anything. What is it?
I'm black.
Yeah, they're not gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I know. Like, I've been around for some time. You know, I'm 29. I kind of you know, I worked in multiple white offices doing sales and. Like, I kind of know, but no one's gonna say it. No one wants to say it, but it's like, it's the truth, man. Like, it's the truth. Yeah. You know?
Let me ask you this. You talked about your girl earlier. You talked about having it, but let her know that you don't have it. How did that conversation go? Was she really receptive to that?
Oh, yeah, but she wasn't receptive. We want to be together. Okay. Like, cause I'm not, like, I'm just like, it's just like, to me, like, I feel like you, as a man, you should always be, you want to take care of yourself like that, but it's like, you don't want someone that just doesn't understand the vision, also wants to just blow money, like that you kind of deal with our culture sometimes because of like emotions. So you have to make sure that person's on the right type of page financially with you, like understands like you don't need all these extra material things. Let's stack of money and invest it into stuff that's going to last long term. If they're not on that, like I wouldn't even like, it wouldn't be anything.
I feel you.
So you know what I'm saying? Like it would just be like a hit situation, like, but I'm not gonna be like in a real relationship or something like that. Like it wouldn't like.
Let me ask you, what was your criteria? Because I feel like a lot of men don't really have criteria for who they get into a relationship with. So what was some of your criteria?
Right off the bat, like someone has to be into faith, because that alone like kind of eliminates a lot of other stuff right off the bat. You know, like a woman of like God, and you're saying she's not even like Christian like that, but she just like believes like. It's just something a different type of morals, you know? And we lack, I talk about this a lot. I do feel like we lack a lot of morals in the US now because I feel like, whatever you want to call it, you know, God or religion is getting moved out of our country and it's making this no moral codes. People don't have morals, there's no loyalty. Think about how people used to stay in jobs for like 30, 60 years type shit. That doesn't happen now. And just like in relationships, we used to stay in relationships, figure out, make it work, build a family. Not happening now like that. Not everybody, but obviously just not as much. Right. And other countries are not dealing with that. Right. And it's because I feel like we don't have our religion in this, you know, what's it
in the center, in the forefront?
God in the state or church in the state or something like that. There's no church in the state, something like that. But they're not dealing with this in China, Dubai, Africa, as much as, you know, here. And that's why I feel like we're lacking. So that's like the first thing that like takes up everything else. And of course, like you can't trust someone that is like materialistic like that and like about money right away, boom. Let there be a slow month or something. You will see the real come out, you know? Like let it be slow or something going on. So someone's really for you, obviously you're not going to be into those things. They're just into you. And then just like the thought of you and like long-term the visions that make everything like be fruitful, But if not, it's like, you know, right away. I see people like all the time just living in Miami. It might be the 're1 state in the U.S. right now with escorts and like gold diggers and all that type of stuff, you know? Like I'm pretty sure it is. And like I see, I right away I see it when someone else is like a friend might have dealt with the situation or something. And I have some good guy friends that I'm like, this is a good man. Like he actually is trying to like, he wants to be married, have a family. He's on that more than the girls nowadays. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like a lot of it's so like hearing that, it's like, it's because of money. I think a lot of it has to do with money or our stress with money and finances in the U.S. I think it's like breaking up a lot of situations and changing things and
Yeah, you said something.
No offense to Sexy Red, but stuff like that. I feel like it's like no, hey, ski. That shit's fire. That shit's fire. I told my boy, I was like, I love in football. I already know we're going crazy in the locker room right now with that shit. But it's almost like it's like feels like it's like kind of plan attack type thing, because it's like imagine how you'd feel if say we were girls and we're like doing things right. We're trying to be like a good woman. We're trying to be like, I want to make a home and keep a home, and you see this girl getting praise and making money and getting clout and all that stuff like that. It almost would be like being the entrepreneur that doesn't do all the flexy stuff to try to get you to buy a course or something. And that's how I feel a lot of times too. I'm like, I don't do any flexy things. You probably see my Instagram. I don't show a lot, but just me working really,
right?
And maybe the gym. And then you have other people like kind of using like lifestyle stuff, and I'm just like and mind you, I live in Miami,
right?
And I have access to like almost like to anything to do, like, you know, if I wanted to like show out, but I feel like that's just not me. It's so not me. So I'm like, but you see other people do that and then try to get someone to buy, and I always like hated that. But that's why I feel like if you flip it, that's why I feel like how the good girl feels like now.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going through that same thing. So I'm like, the good ones need to get blessed and get be like, you know, because we don't want them to like not, because they turn and like you can't be mad at them. Like you're like, I'll be fed up with it too. I feel fed up a lot of times when I see a lot of stuff that's going on from the guy side, and you know.
Yeah. You know, it's so interesting. I feel like when you say that, it reminds me of like when I grew up in New York, seeing some of the dudes that were like scam and had a lot of money. And I'm like, man, I'm working a 9-to-5, an honest living.
Paying taxes.
I'm paying my taxes. I'm not.
Taking it right the check.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm not making as much as these dudes make, but at the same time, I'm a good guy. And I feel like a lot of guys get overlooked. We were just talking about this, about how some women have like these unrealistic expectations when it comes to dudes.
Yeah.
Expecting everybody to make 6 figures when it's just like not everybody's even close to that, and she may not even be making 6 figures. So why is that a standard?
Most likely she's not.
Right. So why is that a standard that you have? And like a lot of guys that are making like 60, 70, 80 maybe, feeling like they're not worthy because they're not making that amount of money, right? And so I think it's important for us to
literally right now, I'll tell you right now, like, and this is like coming from someone who you know how my circle is. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs, a lot of people making money.
Facts.
The best guys, like the best guys that are like the best husband, father material, they're not making that money.
Right.
They're making like 60 to like maybe 90. Like maybe. And they're like, and it's like from a guy talking, knowing like how, like, you know, so.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And the girls are like overlooking those guys. Like, I'm like, that's kind of the one, like
that's the
don't
one.
Be, and then they'd be like shocked when they get the other cop guy and be like, he cheats. So like, what are you expecting? like, you know, like, it doesn't make, like, the type of person that you want is like, you know, it's.
You gotta be.
But just don't live in a real world. Like, you can't like be truthful. I was like, even thinking about earlier to like say like before I hop on this podcast, I was like, damn, can I really be truthful? Like, I was like, damn. I thought about Kanye, I thought about Andrew Tate. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, no, like for real, because like I'm not trying to get canceled because we literally can't be too truthful. Like we're too truthful. Like
it's too much.
I'm a big Kanye West fan, and like I'm, you know, he kind of like let me know right away. Like, all right, like let me make sure, like let me learn from his mistakes a little bit, because like he was being truthful, and you kind of seem like that's a lot of money to freeze on someone's account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, I thought he would have like a private membership where he gets all like that. Let me know a lot of things. I was like, hold on a second. That wasn't some little person's account. That was like,
nah.
What was it? 80 million or not? It was some number that. You want to lose business with that person? Yeah. Oh, so damn.
They don't care. They don't care, man.
That obviously that number is nothing compared to what they're doing, but it's like still, I'm just like,
Let me ask you this, right? We talk about your childhood. I know you got to get out of here, but I want to ask you, what's some younger advice that you would give, or what's some advice you would give to a younger version of yourself? I know you're dealing with like that anger, aggression.
I would definitely, if I could have started what I'm doing now, like earlier. Like way earlier. And I still would have went the football route, but I definitely would have jumped into like learning and knowing that, hey, like there's more than just like college. It's like you could really like believing in yourself is like a big thing. Especially as a black man, you gotta be like, you know, it's kind of messed up because people try to make you feel like you're overly cocky, confident. It was really, like you need to have full 100% confidence in yourself, because if you don't, you can't expect someone else to believe in you. And it can come off with some people, obviously, like they do it the wrong way. It looks too arrogant or whatever.
Yeah.
But just having that confidence up to, like, like nothing's more different than like anyone that you look up to. You're probably way more skilled, way more this and that. You just have to believe it and just execute it, type thing, A lot of people kind of feel like they just don't believe in themselves right away. I feel like I kind of was like unsure, also because I was so new. Like I wasn't around anyone with business, and like I just had my hood homie friends that were not talking about nothing, know. Like when I started like getting into books and like a year back then, like it was kind of like weird that I was like reading and trying to like like instead of watching this music video of these dudes just shooting with guns, I want to like hear some like business sales talk. I started putting on Grant Cardone videos and stuff. I was like wanting to learn how to close sales and like what that was like. And I just got so like interested in it, and like my friends used to, one of my boys would be like, man, turn that shit off, like I hear that dude's voice, like like type, and I'm like nah, like I'm like for some reason like it just what I'm doing now was just clicking to me. Back then I was like, something about this, I just feel like this is it. And so I just was glued to this, listening to it every day, and I think it was giving me like hope and purpose, like a finding myself. And but I just think I just would have jumped into it a lot sooner.
Okay. What advice would you give to the black man right now that's making maybe 60, 70,000, that's feeling like he has low self-worth, doesn't find value in himself, that kind of thing, is trying to better himself, but is not really sure where to start?
I was gonna say definitely making sure like your relationship with God, like focus on that, and also just trying to focus on finding the right people, which you obviously could find online. Like if you could find, the cool thing about now is like if you have a phone and Wi-Fi and social media, you could find the right things to put into your algorithm for your mind to make sure you're seeing that. So you're like other stuff that probably isn't right for you anyway, that you don't need to be dealing with. You don't need to be seeing the girls that are the wrong ones and the people that are the wrong ones that are going to push you to do things that you shouldn't be doing anyway, or are going to make you feel depressed or make you feel like second guessing yourself. And just fill yourself with the right type of manifestation and proper like self-development and routine and stuff like that. And just focus on you and know that, like, for one, just be grateful and have gratitude. That alone helps you, let you know like you're healthy, you're alive, you're living way better than you really think. If not, go take a trip to a third world country, and then definitely that will change you real quick. A lot of people like we don't, like we're soft here in America, like we're really soft, and like I think I was blessed to kind of know that. I think that's what helped me out too. Like is that even now, like I could like I have a business, cool and all, but it's like I'm not doing 20 mil a month or anything crazy, I can't just go and do like whatever, and even that wouldn't even like fulfill me type thing. But just knowing that like I'm able to like have that freedom and stuff like that, I have gratitude every day just for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Gratitude is very, very important, man. Can you tell the people where to find you, how they can support you, how they can tap in what you do,
man.
All that good stuff? So
my IG is Van Dennis with 3 S's at the end, and I have a YouTube as well. I'm gonna be posting a lot more content on there. I'm on TikTok too. But IG is usually the best. That's where I really like, the communication, and Instagram is like way better than a lot of other platforms. And so that's where if you want to, reach out, follow me, shoot me a follow, subscribe to YouTube channel. I'll be coming out with more content, weekly. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, man, that's the best place.
Man, appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Likewise.
Dope episode, bro. I appreciate you for real, man.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are planning an event or you are part of your organization's Black employee group and you are interested in having dope Black mental health professionals or myself come in and do a speaking engagement or a workshop or a keynote address or a panel, please click the link in our bio on Instagram or TikTok, scroll down and click book us for speaking and brand deals and fill out the form available on our website. Once you fill out the form, one of our team members will get back to you about how we can collaborate and create something dope for your organization. This is an unparalleled opportunity. We are currently the largest Black men's mental health platform, and we have a few slots available for our calendar year, and we would love to partner with you to create something dope for your organization if it makes sense for both parties, right? So go to the link in our bio, scroll down, click book us for speaking and brand deals, and fill out that form. If you're not on Instagram, the link should be linked in our description of this episode. And it is also on our website. If you go to expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. That's expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. If you are looking for a therapist, a Black therapist, and you've had a hard time finding one, you've jumped from therapist to therapist, or you just don't know how to find a therapist, we are teaching a free webinar. It's completely free, taking you from not knowing how to find a therapist, not knowing where to search for therapists, struggling with finding good therapists for you, not knowing what to look for in therapists, teaching you all of those different things, and also giving you the opportunity at the end of the webinar to be connected with one of our safe haven healers who are Black mental health professionals, so that you do not have to go through the struggles of finding a Black therapist alone anymore, right? So if you're interested in that, you want to get connected with a Black mental health professional at the end of the webinar, or you just want to learn how to find a Black therapist by yourself, you can sign up for the free webinar. It's linked in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. You just click that free webinar link. Once you click the link in our bio and fill out the form. You can also find it on our website at expressyourselfblackman.com/links and fill out the form there for our next webinar session. If you're not interested in any of that, right, but you know someone that may be interested in it, all we ask is that you please share it. If you want some of the merch that we show on the platform all the time, that we're wearing on the platform all the time, you can shop it at shop.expressyourselfblackman.com. And once again, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, if you are on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please leave a review. It helps us out greatly. Thank you so much for your support. We're wishing you nothing but the best for sending you and your family and your loved ones love and light. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. A shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for.